Most people think that intuition gets stronger by meditating harder. While meditation does influence or impact your intuition, this is not the only way to be able to sharpen your intuition. Because intuition is a muscle, you can flex that muscle, and the more you flex that muscle, the more sharper you are making your intuition. What better way to flex your intuitive muscles other than playing a weekly game? Well, that is the subject of this video, and I'm going to show you how you can play a weekly game in order to be able to up-level your intuition and flex your intuitive muscles. So stick around until the end and see how you too can play this game and strengthen your intuition. Hello everybody, I am Vaishali Nikhade. I am an engineer turned psychic with over 9,000 readings, and I show you how you can leverage the power of the spirit, meaning intuition, and the power of the stars in order to be able to create momentum in your life. As a psychic, I read a lot of people, and what I notice is some of my clients who come to me, they already have a vague idea based on their intuition or their intuitive abilities that something is wrong, and they're just looking for more specificity, or they're looking for confirmation on how things are going to play out in real life. So here's what you're going to learn in this video. Why your intuition feels random, how to flex your intuitive muscle, and the difference between looking for something versus knowing what to look for in order to be able to develop your intuition. So let's get started. The first one is why your intuition feels random. There's a couple of reasons why your intuition may feel random. At times, it may be overwhelmed by anxiety. I have a video where I show you how anxiety can affect or impact your intuition. And if your intuition is overwhelmed by anxiety, then you're not going to be able to connect with the message that your intuition is trying to give you. There could be times when your intuition is giving you the message, and you may just discard it as, oh, that is not important. But after that message plays out in real life, you may just realize that, oh my God, that is what my intuition was trying to tell me. And there could be times when your environment actually masks the intuition. And I have a detailed video on it, which I'll link in the comments below. But the easiest way to understand this is, let's say that you're talking on the cell phone. So there's you on one end and let's say John Doe on the other end. And you're speaking clearly and John Doe is speaking clearly. However, the signal between the two of you, it is not clear. And because the signal is not clear, the wireless signal is not so clean, essentially, you're hearing some of the words, you're not hearing some of the words, maybe you're just hearing noise, and you're getting irritated because you're not able to understand the message that John Doe is giving to you. And at the same time, John Doe is like, oh my God, I'm just saying everything clearly. What is wrong with your phone? So essentially, if your environment is masking the intuition, then you're not able to receive the message that your intuition is trying to give you or trying to tell you. So we move on to the next point, which is how to flex your intuitive muscles. I'll use an example of running in this case because it's a lot easier for you to understand this with respect to the running examples, whether or not you're a runner. So let's say that you've never run before and I say, can you go and run 5 miles? And you're like, what is wrong with her? I have never even run 1 mile. How am I going to run 5 miles? So you say that, okay, I've never really run 5 miles or even 1 mile. So how do you expect me to run a mile? So now I know that you are just at the beginning of the journey and you need to strengthen the muscles of your legs for running. So you start small, maybe you run 200 meters, 400 meters, you bump it up to 800 meters and so on. And you gradually start increasing the distance. And as you start increasing the distance, you're flexing the muscles of your legs. in order to adapt your body to take the impact from running. And before you start the run, you already know that you are going to run, let's say 400 meters or 800 meters. You are mentally prepared to run that distance. So the physical distance is half of it, and the mental preparation is half of it. Because if you're not mentally prepared to run the distance, then your legs are going to start failing and you won't really feel like running that distance. So intuition works the same way. One way is, let's say that you know something in advance, then your intuition is kind of screening or scanning to be able to look for that thing or to look for that event or to look for that occurrence. And what the Cosmic Chronicle does is it gives you every week in advance as to what you need to look for in terms of the significant event that is going to play out in your life. And once you know what to look for, essentially your intuition is just scanning each and every event and thinking, oh, is this the one? Is this the one? Is this the one, kind of a thing? And essentially you're strengthening your intuitive muscles. So the link to sign up for the Cosmic Chronicle is below. And essentially what you will get every week is what you need to look for as far as the major event of the week is concerned. And by spotting this, you are flexing your intuitive muscles or strengthening your intuition. So we move on to the next point, which is the difference between looking for something versus knowing what to look for in order to be able to develop your intuition. So these are two different things. So here you're just randomly looking and you're trying to see what your intuition is trying to tell you. And this is a lot harder, especially if you've not played with your intuition before. And here you're looking for something very specific. Let's say this is specific. And what the specific thing is, it is given by the Cosmic Chronicle, and you'll find the link in the comments below. And let's say that I'm just going to take an example. Let's say that this is the room, okay? And let's say you're thinking that, oh, maybe I'm going to meet an important person in the room, and there's like 200 people over here. So you're randomly scanning the room and you're kind of unsure as to where you need to look in order to be able to meet this person. Whereas if for the same thing, you are given some specific examples that, let's say, look in this corner of the room, and then in this corner of the room, you'll find two groups, and in the first group, you will find this person. So then you know exactly what you need to look for as far as finding this person is concerned. The other way is if your intuition is extremely strong, then you can scan the entire room and kind of zero down or narrow down the focus on that room. And I just recorded a video on scanning the room. I will link that in the comments below as well. So when you are training your intuition, think of it as being given a clue as to what to look for, and by doing that you're training your intuition a lot faster and a lot easier. Not only that, you will have a lot more confidence in terms of developing your intuitive abilities by doing it this way. So now that you know how you can sharpen your intuition using this weekly game, what exactly led me to developing the Cosmic Chronicle? Well, the answer is a $900 candle. And how did that happen? Well, that's the subject of my next video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!